What if I told you the key to growing your private practice isn't new patients, but the ones you already have? Most private doctors in the UK focus so hard on new self-pay patient acquisition, but they completely forget that loyalty is actually the most profitable and sustainable way to grow a business in the long term. You don't build a great private practice by constantly chasing new inquiry after new inquiry, but you build actually by making the right patients want to stay with you forever. And they want to stay, be able to refer new patients, and grow with you in the long term. I've scaled my own private practice now to multi-seven figures and have also helped over 165 other medical practices do the same. Today, I'll show you exactly what separates a practice with revolving doors from those who run full clinics without spending a single pound on paid advertising. Now, this study revealed that 80% of patients' impressions is formed before they even meet you, through things like digital touchprints, admin efficiency, and the overall tone of communication from the very point that they see your name. For example, if your receptionist takes over 3 hours to respond to a simple inquiry, how do you think that reflects on your practice's professionalism? Fast responses show the patient that you value their time and actually care about their needs being met with the urgency that they're looking to get help with. Imagine a potential patient called your practice at 9 a.m. and you reply within 15 minutes with a clear, empathetic answer. And by the time you walk in, they already trust your clinic simply because of the speed and attentiveness that you've already demonstrated. Clear online communication is also super important. Your website, your email confirmations, and your social media pages should clearly explain your services, pricing, and expectations. Ambiguity or confusion in these areas leads to mistrust and also hesitation from the patients going ahead with your services. Also, the way that you follow up and the tone needs to be empathetic, right? After the first consultation, the follow-up matters just as much. A kind, reassuring tone will continue to build the trust that was laid out from the online presence and also the first consultation. For instance, a patient who's anxious about their diagnosis receives a warm, empathetic follow-up call that reassures them about next steps. This experience builds trust well before the treatment begins. The action point from this is develop a strong pre-appointment experience that matches the quality of your clinical care. This means have automated onboarding emails, have FAQ handouts to reduce patient anxiety, and have a clear, reassuring confirmation message. When your patient feels comfortable before they even walk in through the door, you've already earned a huge chunk of their trust. Consistency in your practice is a brand. It's not just a standard. Think about your favorite brands. Why do you keep going back to places such as Greg's or John Lewis? No matter where you go, you know what to expect. That's the key to brand loyalty. The same applies to healthcare. If a patient has a 10 out of 10 experience on their first visit and an 8 out of 10 experience on their second visit, they'll leave wondering what went wrong. Inconsistent experiences are a major red flag for patients. But here's the thing, inconsistency rarely comes from the doctor, it comes from the system. For instance, your receptionist might be great at answering questions on day 1, but they might not be as helpful or attentive on day 2, which negatively impacts the patient experience. So for an actionable step, here are a few things you can do to make your patient's experience consistently excellent. 1. Clinical Operations Manual. Develop a detailed manual so every team member knows how to handle all aspects of the patient experience, from bookings to cancellations and from pre-consult instructions to complaints. It should leave no room for confusion. Number 2 is a staff training matrix. Train your staff monthly. When you onboard new team members, make sure they're not just trained, they're upskilled over time. And 3, use software products like Google Workspace or Notion to track how often your team actually follows standard operating procedures, SOPs, because it's not about guesswork, it's about data-driven consistency. Another thing is that patient engagement is a retention strategy, not a marketing gimmick. Let's get real, posting a Happy World Health Day on Instagram is not patient engagement. It's nice, but it doesn't help with retention. True engagement is operational, it's measurable, and is designed to create value between patient visits. And that's the key to long-term loyalty. Simple tactics is 1. Create automated health maintenance journeys. Set up an email or SMS sequence for patients to check in on their health statuses before visits. You can set up a 3-month check-in email with lab reminders and helpful content. It keeps them engaged and shows you care about their long-term well-being. Also, WhatsApp broadcast lists for top-tier patients. Create a private WhatsApp group for your most loyal patients. This is where you can send exclusive updates, early booking opportunities, and personal health tips. Like for instance, hey Sarah, we're opening up early consultations for next month. Let me know if you want me to save you a slot. out, have a clinic loyalty loop. After every visit, assign the next best action, whether it's a follow-up blood test, a scan, or a preventative check-in. Schedule it before they leave to keep them in the loop. For instance, after a routine checkup, you schedule the patient's next follow-up appointment on the spot. It keeps the engagement continuous and shows you're proactive about their care. Never leave the patient not knowing when their next interaction with you is. By creating these engagement touchpoints, you're not just running a transactional business, you're building a long-term health relationship. Now, I want to talk about loyalty metrics that actually matter. You can't fix what you don't measure. Unfortunately, many private practices get distracted by vanity metrics like the number of followers or appointment volume. But these metrics don't tell you anything about patient loyalty. Here are the real loyalty KPIs to track monthly. 1. Rebooking rate within 90 days. This tells you if patients are staying in your care cycle. The higher this rate, the more patients are coming back for follow-ups and ongoing treatment. For instance, if your rebooking rate is low, this means your patient might be slipping through the cracks after their first visit. Follow up more proactively. Plus, referral rate per patient. Are your happy patients actually referring others? This shows that your patients trust you enough to recommend your services to family and friends. And lastly, no-show rate. If this is rising, it's a sign you've got a communication or trust issue, not a loyalty problem. For instance, a rising no-show rate might indicate that your patients are losing trust or you haven't created a compelling reason enough for them to return to your practice. One clinic that I worked with in Essex had a 49% rebooking rate. After implementing a more consistent follow process, their rebooking rate shot up to 78% in just 60 days. To summarize, let's be super clear. Patients don't stay because you're the best doctor. They stay because you're the most consistent, the most proactive, and the one who made them feel safe before, during, and after the consultation. Loyalty isn't about gimmicks. It's about building systems around trust, consistency, and engagement. If you want help building that into your practice, subscribe now. This channel is for business owners in the healthcare space who want to scale up with strategy, not guesswork. And let me know in the comments what kind of content you want to see next. I'll see you in the next one.